So 2026 brought a whole new range of changes, and one of them apparently is that's now a Ford Mustang Cup. So welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about a wee bit of a conundrum that sort of flipped the script from what fans have been saying the last few years. It's actually the other manufacturer, well, the other manufacturer that's behind. So coming from 2025, the teams looked like this in their respective manufacturers, but 2026 brought a raft array of changes. Firstly, you added Toyota to the mix, so add a homologation team and move them over to there. And there was also a satellite team with Brad Jones Racing, moved them over to Toyota as well. And boom, there's your teams for 2026. But wait a minute, SCT Motorsports wants to align themselves with Triple Eight, so we'll move SCT Motorsports to Chevrolet. Hang on a minute, no. Ford is looking to pick up Triple Eight, and they have, so move those three cars over to Ford. So the teams look like this for 2026. And that leaves Chevrolet with four teams. You've got Team 18, the homologation team, Matt Stone Racing, who have been in the category since 2018, one of the newest supercars teams, Premier Racing, and Erebus Motorsport, who won the Drivers and Teams Championships back in 2023 and is a two-time Bathurst winner. So how have they done so far in 2026? Actually not very good. If you compare the manufacturers, Chevrolet only has, in 13 races, Chevrolet has one win. And that was with Anton De Pasquale, the driver of the number 18 car, back in race 2 of the season. That was also the only podium for Chevrolet as well. So it's been a bit of a rot for the Bowtie brand. But why is this? Well, I'm going to explain in this video, and if you like this sort of supercars content and you want to see more of this style of video, give a like and a subscriber support, be very much appreciated. And follow me on TikTok, Instagram and Facebook, whatever your preferred social media, for news and updates of supercars and other motorsport. So like I said, Chevrolet is not doing too well in the supercars camp this year. But why is that? So I'm going to go over some of the points. Main point, I reckon, it's not a parity problem. Supercars spent probably close to $1 million, maybe even more than that, sending the three manufacturers over to America through their wind tunnel testing, and they were so dilute in the details, and they have gotten a parity adjustment after 3 rounds. So what was the point on spending all that money? Has it made a change? It's hard to say really. When they made the parity adjustment, they went to the newest circuit, Ruapuna, where no one had previous data. So it was hard to judge whether or not the parity adjustment worked or not. They gave them more aero, if you want to know what happened. But why do I think Chevrolet has a lack of speed? Well, it could come down to, first step being the drivers, because the 8 drivers that Chevrolet have are an interesting mix. You've got Anton De Pasquale in the number 18 car. He has 10 previous wins. Yes, 2 of them are in the Gen 2 or Gen 3 era in the 9 years he's been running. The veteran David Reynolds has 8 wins in his career, yet only one of them is in the Gen 3 era. Matt Stone Racing, they've got Jack LeBrock in the number 4 car, done the same amount of years as Anton De Pasquale, but with only 2 wins, one of those being in the Gen 3 era, coincidentally for his previous stint with Matt Stone Racing. And the other 5 drivers have a collective experience of 2 years. You've got Zach Bates, the 2024 Super 2 champion. He has in his rookie season. Premier Racing, like I said, the newest team, doesn't really have an experienced driver lineup. They've got Jaden Ojeda, who is a Mercedes factory driver for their GT program, but this is his first full-time year in supercars competition. Declan Fraser, who has done a year of supercars running, but it was back in 2023 in the first year of the Gen 3 era, and that was in a 4th Tickford car. And the final team, Erebus Motorsport, who has got Job Stewart, who is a rookie and been in that Erebus program for basically for as long as his racing career has gone for. And they've got Cooper Murray, a former Carrera Cup champion, in his first year, or in his second year, in supercars. So if you include all of those drivers for their years of experience, they have 37 years of experience. But bear in mind that 35 of those years are 3 out of 8 drivers. And in total, they have a combined win rate of 20 wins in total. Compare that to the drivers they lost in 25. This is the list of drivers. They had on their books, they had Brock Feeney and Will Brown, they had Andre Heimgartner, Bryce Forward, Macaulay Jones, and Jackson Evans. They also had Cameron Hill and Nick Percat, and also James Golding and Richie Stanaway. That combines for 53. So their drivers lack the experience that they need, but that's also the case with the other rookies. Jackson Wills and Ryan Gray over in the Ford camp, it's not like they're doing amazing either. So this is a rookie thing, not just a Chevrolet thing. So it's hard to get perfect parity for drivers that haven't done this for that long, so it's hard to compare apples and apples. It's apples and oranges basically. Also, another point is the lack of front-running pace for the teams. These 4 teams, I would not say that they have been consistent front-runners ever. You've had Erebus Motorsport, but they've been through about 3 different rebuilding phases. And yes, they won the Drivers and Teams Championship and they won Bathurst, but that was in a previous life. That was before all the drama with Brody Kostecki and stuff like that happened, and during actually, with their Bathurst win. And also, they have 2 fresh drivers and basically a lot of fresh employees. And they're also doing things on their own. All the other GM teams are sort of working together as a coherent unit. But with Erebus, they are sort of doing things independently. That's sort of just how they like it. And when it comes to the other teams, Team 18, they've been on their own in supercars since 2016, and this is their first year as a homologation team. The other years of teams being homologation teams, because you've got Triple Eight and Walkinshaw this year, they have done this before. They have done this before many times, so they're used to going through the whole phase of being a homologation team. This is Team 18's first go at it. Also, they haven't had the consistent speed as well. They've had a lot of podiums, but they've only had 2 wins. This year with Anton De Pasquale and also Mark Winterbottom when he was running the DeWalt car. As opposed to the other 2 teams, Matt Stone Racing, they have been basically a customer program for their whole journey through supercars, and Premier is exactly the same, and they're even newer. Yes, they are ambitious and they've got good owners like Peter Jebris, and they've got a good guy running the whole operation with Roland Dane. And with Matt Stone Racing, you have the heart and soul of the Stone Brothers Racing. Hell, they've even got their former numbers with number 4 and number 10. But when you compare these teams to, let's say, Ford's teams, you've got Triple Eight, you've got Dick Johnson Racing, you've got Tickford Autosport, Grove Racing and their ambitious owners, and Blanchard Racing Team who's linked up with Triple Eight. And even in the Toyota side of things, Walkinshaw, they've had so much experience when it comes to running a homologation team. And Brad Jones Racing, they've been in this sport full time since the year 2000, so they've also got the legs. So it's hard to compare. It's like no wonder that these teams aren't doing so well when you compare what Ford's teams are. I mean, last year with the Teams Championship, you had Triple Eight at the top. Then the next 3 teams were Ford teams. Then it was Team 18 when they got their homologation status, and then also another Ford team. So GM lack that top tier team that they have had basically their whole life. If you go back to the early days of the V8 era, you had Gibson Motorsport at the top, and then you had Holden Racing Team overtake them in status, and they stayed up there until about 2009 when Triple Eight came onto the scene for Holden, and they basically stayed up there for as long as they were at Holden. There was no drop off or anything. They had Erebus pinching at their heels, but then they had their whole explosion, an interior meltdown that they had. So Triple Eight stayed at the top, and they were a mega power. They made that Camaro last year look amazing, way better than it probably was, honestly. So how do you get out of this rot? Well, you can do one of 2 things. Well, you can do 2 things, or you can do both of those things. Firstly, you can keep doing what they look like they're doing and trying to poach Matt Payne. Matt Payne has probably been offered a hell of a lot of money, so much so he's probably one of the most going to be one of the most highest paid drivers on the grid. And these are some heavy rumours, and usually when there's smoke, there's fire. And I have heard reports from Apex Hunters United, so don't know how true it is, but they've broken plenty of stories before, that he has looked around GM's sim setups, so he is very much interested in going into what I assume is the number 20 car. And or you could put your arms around the current guys and work as a coherent unit. And I'm thinking back to the old Holden Motorsport days. If you remember back in those days, all the Holden teams were very tight-knit. Usually when drivers transferred between teams, it was going from Holden to Holden. And that's how they stayed so strong, because they were one coherent unit. They need to do that and get your arms around some of these young blokes that they've already got, and maybe they could replace David Reynolds, because Reynolds, unless he finds form in ages like fine wine, I think he'll be out by the end of this year. And if it's not Matt Payne, I think it'll be one of three guys that will take his seat. I think it'll be Zach Bates, Cooper Murray, or Jaden Ojeda. One of those three. With Jaden Ojeda, you might have to break him out of his Mercedes contract and maybe have him doing a bit of Corvette running. I don't know. But with Cooper Murray and Zach Bates, you've got talented young guys that have been forged by the supercars support category ladder. And I compare Cooper Murray to a young Garth Tander. He's got a hell of a lot of pace. He just needs to forge that pace into a fine mineral like I know it can be. And with Zach Bates, he's been fast in basically everything he's gotten in. He was the king of the Toyota 86s for a while, and he was the 2024 Super 2 champion. So he's had the pedigree of winning in the lower ranks. Plus, those two, Murray and Bates, did quite well in their Super Cheap Auto wildcard runs, so they know what it's like running in the front with a homologation team. But that is Chevrolet's predicament at the moment. What do you think of Chevrolet? Can they find their form with their existing guys, or can they invest in the market even more than they already am and try and fix this with a homemade band-aid? And if you like this video and you want to see more Supercars content, give a like and subscribe. It would be very much appreciated. While you wait for the next video, check out one of these two videos beside me. I don't know what the algorithm will pick, but they are there for you. And I will see you in the next video. Whatever one that may be, I just bit the inside of my lip.